Now live from Studio 550, it's McGraw in the Morning on the Big 550 KTRS.
Stephen Portnoy is joining us live from Oklahoma City. Good morning, Stephen Portnoy.
Hey, good morning to you from Moore, Oklahoma, which is about 10 miles south of Oklahoma City. This is ground zero for yesterday's tornado. Luckily, the good thing is the storm front has moved on, and it's sunny here again. A really nice, calm, tranquil day with just a slight breeze. This is an opportunity for the search and rescue efforts to really begin in earnest in what is a 40-mile-long path of debris, about 20 blocks wide. Incredible devastation right through the heart of this town.
We are hearing that overnight the death toll was at 51. Now we hear that it's up over 90.
Well, I can tell you the confirmed death toll is 51. The medical examiner believes that there may be 40 more people unaccounted for, presumed dead, feared dead, and that's why you're hearing the number 91. It's 51 plus 40. We know of the 51 confirmed deaths, roughly half of that number are children.
What about the rescue efforts at the school? What's the latest there?
Well, those are efforts that have been going on overnight. The governor of this state, Mary Fallin, says she does not believe, based on the fact that they tried to look for, survivors in the rubble, that there will be any more opportunities to find survivors in the collapsed wreckage of that school building. But no doubt those efforts have continued and will continue throughout the day.
Stephen Portnoy, we're hearing that in Moore, some warning systems went off 15 minutes before the tornado hit, and we're also hearing that there was some type of emergency warning about 5 or 6 minutes before it hit. Is that accurate?
Well, I can tell you the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning at 2:40 p.m. Central Time yesterday, about 15 minutes before the tornado actually formed. That's par for the course when it comes to the National Weather Service and their tornado warnings. Those are immediate take shelter now advisories. This area was under a tornado watch for all of yesterday, and there for several days had been the risk expressed by our forecaster Sam Champion in New York and local forecasters here that the potential existed. In fact, just the day before, there were tornadoes all throughout the state of Oklahoma, so there's nobody here who was caught by surprise. They knew this risk existed.
You mentioned it was a 2-mile wide tornado. Do we have any idea how long it was on the ground for?
It was on the ground for 40 miles. I should say, I'm sorry. I keep getting my numbers. I got about 45 minutes sleep last night. It was on the ground for 20 miles over 40 minutes. So that's the length of destruction that it cut right through the heart of this city. It was a 40-minute ordeal.
That seems an awfully long time. Tornadoes usually touch down and then come up within moments. That seems like an awfully long time for that to be on the ground.
That's a great point. And, when we hear about the extent of the devastation of this storm, when the forecasters finally get a handle on exactly what it did on the ground here, they'll probably write a number of studies and reports about this one, about just how it formed, how it was able to stay on the ground for as long as it did. It certainly will be an historic storm. There's no doubt about that.
We're also hearing, Stephen Portnoy, that there are still, we talked about the school, we're also seeing pictures of open fires. What's that story from Moore?
Well, one of the big risks here is the fact that when the homes were taken out, the gas lines were ripped right open. And so there is a real concern about natural gas leaks all over the area. Rescuers overnight reported that they suffered headaches breathing in some of these fumes.
What happens today? FEMA comes in, the federal government comes in. What's the plan for today?
Well, certainly this is an opportunity for the rescue and recovery efforts to continue. Alongside that, and parallel to that, when it comes to actually digging through the rubble and the wreckage, we're looking for survivors or bodies. Second to that, and parallel to it, is the opportunity for those who have lost their homes to begin to learn about the process of applying for federal assistance. And that will no doubt occur at shelters and at community centers and happening overnight was families were reuniting with loved ones who they lost track of yesterday.
Stephen Portnoy live in Moore, Oklahoma, brings the views and the sounds of what is considered one of the worst tornadoes in our history. Stephen Portnoy, thanks for checking in. Great job as always.
You bet.
Stephen Portnoy live in Moore, Oklahoma, as you heard him say, is just south of Oklahoma City. Traffic and weather, Tim Weiland, you're sponsored by Check Into Cash in the KTRS Traffic Center.